Hola estudiantes de Español 3, espero que estén listos para otro día de e-learning. I've got on the screen a copy of the notes that I passed out to you on Tuesday, just in case we weren't going to have school on Thursday. It looks like it's a good thing we took these home with us. So you want to go ahead and pull out your handout. If you don't have a number on it, you can put numero 11 on here. The handout says Las Comparaciones, and we're going to take some time today talk about how to compare things that are equal and that are not equal. So you'll see on the handout, there's an uno, dos, tres in a box down here. I'm going to switch over here in a second to a Google slideshow. And as we go through this today, you're going to want to jot a few notes down because you're going to need these notes over the next few days as we work with comparisons. So let me switch over to the Google Slides that'll be on your screen. And again, you can jot a few things down. These first few slides, though, there's nothing to write down. I'll let you know when to start writing some things down. So again, today we're going to talk about how to compare in Spanish, something you learned in a previous class, but we want to review these because it's something that we use quite a bit and just want to make sure you're familiar with how to do this. So before we get started, before you write anything down, let me show you a couple of pictures. All right, so aquí tenemos una foto de Michi. All right, y aquí tenemos Michifus. As you can see, they are not equal, all right? They're different. Michi es más gordo que Michifus. All right, so we just made a comparison that was not equal, all right? Es más gordo que. Let's try another one. This is Simón. This is Miguel. All right, as you can see, they are definitely not equal. All right, how can we compare them? Simón está menos enojado que Miguel. All right, let's try another one. Here's Senor Peeper. Here's Juan. All right, Senor has a taco. Juan has lots of tacos. Not equal. All right, Juan tiene más tacos que el Senor Peeper. See Juan? All right, here's another one. Senor Kins, Pedro. All right, not equal. El Senor Kins es menos fuerte que Pedro. All right, so what we're seeing here are examples of making comparisons for things that are not equal. All right, but here we have Pedro, we have Ana, and they're both working really hard. All right, so we could say, in this case, Pedro está tan cansado como Ana, or if I switch it around, Ana está tan cansada como Pedro. And note that I had to make this feminine because this adjective agrees with Ana. Since Ana is a chica, I've got to make sure my adjective agrees with that. But over here it's cansado because Pedro came first into the sentence. Let's see another one. All right, so actually now we're going to start jotting a few notes down. So we're going to come back to your notes, all right? And so we're talking about características that are not equal. To make those, we always use the setup más plus adjetivo plus que. That's going to be a way we talk about two things that are not equal. So for example, Cristina es más bonita que Jennifer. So let's go ahead and jot that down in your notes. We're saying that they are not equal because Cristina es más bonita que. All right. Now, I can also use menos in a case like this. And there's the English if you want to see the English version. All right. We can also say menos adjetivo que. So here's an example. Jennifer es menos rica que Madonna. All right, she's less rich than Madonna. So by using that setup, es plus adjetivo, es plus más or menos adjetivo que, we can compare characteristics that are not equal. So there's a couple of examples that we'll refer back to a little bit later. Now, one thing to note, a few of these are going to be irregular. All right, instead of saying más bueno, we want to say mejor. And instead of saying más malo, we want to say peor. With más viejo, we're going to change that one to mayor. And más joven, we're going to change to menor. So we want to jot these four down. These are four of our irregulars that we're going to practice with a little bit as well. And then finally, what happens when we want to compare things that are equal? All right. Well, this is when we can use the idea of tan with an adjective and the word como. Tan means the word as. We put an adjective in the middle, and como also means as. So for example, let's jot this down on your notes. Ana es tan lista como Sara. So Ana is as smart as Sara. So when we have two people in this case that are equal, we wouldn't want to use más que or menos que. We're going to use tan with an adjective and como. So that's how we set up to give comparisons. All right? One thing to note, and there's not a spot for this on the notes in terms of a number, maybe jot this down off to the right. When we talk about numbers, one thing's going to change. So let's say we're talking about un anillo, a ring. El anillo cuesta $1,500. All right. El anillo cuesta más de $1,000. Or el anillo cuesta menos de $2,000. You see here that the word que disappeared. The rule in Spanish is the word que changes to de in front of a number. So that's the only reason we would maybe use the word de, is because we have a number in a case like this. So maybe jot this down somewhere off to the right. And finally, to wrap up today, just one big ojo, one big thing to keep in mind. We're making comparisons. They have to agree in number, meaning singular or plural, and gender, masculine or feminine, with the nouns that they modify. So let's see a few examples, see if we can kind of wrap our mind around this. El señor Piper es más alto que la señora Bailey. So I've got alto here because it agrees back with señor. If I switch that, señora Bailey es menos alta que señor, we use an a because we're referring to señora Bailey comes first. If they're plural, Sara y María son tan creativas como Juan. We have creativas because it's Sara and María. Two chicas, and it's plural. Or Juan es tan creativo como Sara y María. Creativo agrees back here with Juan. All right, so one thing just to kind of be aware of with these comparisons. We're going to practice these a little bit today on a couple of different activities to give you a chance to use them. One of the activities you'll do is to practice on a quick Canvas quiz to make sure that you got it. And then the other thing is, once you finish the Canvas quiz, on right below here, there are 3 activities. And you're going to work through these 3 activities today, and we'll check them in class on Friday. So actividad 1, actividad 2, and actividad 3 will give you a chance to practice using these comparisons a little bit. If you have any questions about the e-learning, feel free to let me know, and we'll see you on Viernes. Hasta luego.